Hey there, Floralpreneurs. It is I, Alison Ellis, coming at you live tonight on St. Patty's Day. I should be wearing green. My bad. My bad. I am Irish. I should be wearing green. So happy St. Patrick's Day. Maybe some of you have been home all day and been drinking some Guinness since the morning time, since you didn't have any work to do today. Wherever you are in this world, thanks for being here. If you're watching on a replay, that's cool too. Why am I here? I don't know. I wanted to come here to talk to you about Q&A stuff for wedding stuff, right? I wanted to talk about things that are pleasant, things that are forward moving in our businesses, but right now your business might be at a standstill. So if you're out there and you want to give a like, leave a comment, ask a question, share a thought about anything, please feel free to do that. What I really want to do today is talk about the thing I talked about this morning, talk about the thing that's been on my mind all day and most of my clients' minds all day, or excuse me, most of my friends' minds all day, wedding planners, florists. What do we do? Just what do we do, right? So I put on some chapstick and I realized I went a little out of the lines tonight. Okay. It's like, I can't stare at that all night. So yeah, it's going to be, I shouldn't touch my face, right? We have to be very mindful that this is just an unprecedented time, right? Where touching your face, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Or, I went to go see a friend this evening. I brought her family dinner because she had a surgery recently. So I'm on the meal train. So it's like, hey, can I still do this? I'm going to bring a meal. And then should I come in to chat? Should I not? There's a lot that we have to figure out, and our customers are doing the same. So it's a time where I think we need to try our best to presume everybody's doing their best. But I hopped on live this morning onto Instagram. I shared it here in Facebook because I'm really bothered by how many florists are giving legal advice right now. So I just think it's an unprecedented time. It is hard to know what the right thing is to do, and I get that. But please don't take your legal advice from florists, okay? Including this florist right here. I'm not a lawyer, right? I don't even play one on TV. But what I'm seeing are florists giving legal advice like it's their job all day long. You have a contract, stick to your contract. Don't just contract. All right, I brought my phone to my live chat tonight because there are a couple of things I wanted to share. So first of all, I got a question. I got a little something that I thought was an inspiring way to try to cope and pivot in terms of being a business owner. And I found something, I shared it here in the group, I can share it again, but it's called An Event Pros COVID-19 and Contracts, a flow chart. So basically, this flow chart, which I'm looking at on my phone right now, this flow chart starts with, has your client requested to reschedule or cancel their event, right? So then you have the choices, yes or no. Let's go with yes, okay? Because that's the question. Your client's choosing to cancel. What do you do? So has the government in your client, or your venue's locality banned public gatherings or declared a quarantine? So that is what we're dealing with right now. Things have been banned or not recommended. People aren't being as firm with what the actual answer is, right? So people are confused. But try not to be confused, okay? Because let me just share with you. We'll go back to the very first question. Has your client canceled their event or rescheduled? Let's say no, that hasn't happened yet. She says, take a breath. Do not spend their non-refundable retainer deposit or any additional fees they have paid to you. Hold it in a savings account. Make a plan for them and communicate it proactively. Keep on top of the news in your location. So I want to point that out, because if something's canceled or postponed, yes, great, good to know. But if something is not canceled or postponed, what she's saying is, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. Don't spend that money. Don't do anything. Be prepared for cancellation. is what she's saying. Okay. I just want to pause here and say, I'm not here to rile you up. I can sense myself getting a little riled up, so I'm going to tone it down. Information, facts only. That is all that I want to talk about, basically, with this whole COVID thing, whole coronavirus situation. We can't say, well, I heard this or somebody said that. That's not helpful, okay? So when you've got florists saying, stick with your contract, they're not going to be standing with you. And now I see a whole bunch of comments coming in. Hello, you guys. Hello, hello, hello. They're not going to be standing there with you in court when someone's like, hey, so listen, this girl thinks her contract holds up in a pandemic, and it don't, okay? So that's really what I want to just keep, that's what I really want to keep your mind focused on, okay? Is that it's super duper important to know that you don't want to take advice about your legal contract from somebody who's not a lawyer, and you don't want to take advice about what's actually happening from people who are not scientists, right? People who are not actually certified to tell you, right? So don't listen to what somebody said or somebody heard, just facts, okay? So let's get back to the flow chart. So let's just say the public gatherings have been limited, right? Let's just say that's a yes. Does your client's event match the criteria in the government mandate, meaning the guest count? So does your event have few enough guests to still take place? Well, right now that's what, 50, 10, depends what guideline you decide you want to follow. So let's just say it's 10. Even if you say it's 50, right? That has to include event staff as well. Okay. So is your event going to have less than 50 people total? All right, I'm getting old. I gotta make the screen a little bigger here. Okay, so does your contract have a force majeure clause? Well, yes, right? Especially if you bought my contract, it has a force majeure clause. Follow down, yes. Are acts of government mandate, epidemic, or pandemic included in your force majeure clause? So you're gonna go and look at that. So this is where it also gets interesting, because now it goes to yes and no. Let's start with yes. Let's just say you have pandemics in your clause. Here's what she says. By the way, this came from the Engaged Legal Collective. I should have credited that from the beginning. So I just started following her on Facebook today. So I don't know anything about her other than someone sent this to me and I was like, this seems pretty good. You're probably in a situation. So again, you have force majeure, covers you for pandemic. Here's what she says. You're probably in a situation where force majeure kicks in. Typically, this means that performance under the contract is excused and or the contract is canceled. But look and see what yours actually says. Consult with your contract about force majeure and work with your clients to try and figure out whether they can postpone the event. So the reason I want to start with this, the yes, even though most of you won't have pandemic, right, in your clause. Even if you do, she says, prepare for the contract to be null and void. This is where I don't know what happens, because again, I'm not a lawyer, never done this before, my first pandemic, y'all. What happens then? If the contract is canceled, should they get everything back? Because we're canceled, right? Even though your deposit is non-refundable, the entire contract is now canceled, right? So that would be a good question for this person. Maybe I should send her a message. But like, to me, this is where it becomes, you need your lawyer, right? You need somebody who's going to tell you not only what does your contract say, but like, how should you proceed? What's the right thing to do? All right, so let's just say you do not have pandemic in your force majeure clause, which is going to be most of you, right? No, you may have a force majeure situation, or your client may have an excuse from full payment based on contractual impossibility. I just want to pause on that for a minute. Contractual impossibility. So while these florists are in my group here, I love you guys, but I was so disappointed. I'm not going to lie, that so many people were just like, contract, keep your, stick to your terms. Your contract covers you. You don't know what you're talking about. peace and love. You do not know what you are talking about. So don't give legal advice and medical advice if you don't know what you're talking about, all right? Not in my group, all right? It really, really irked me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean about it, but there were so many people. Majority, keep that money. It's yours. It's you. What about you, right? What about everybody? What about everybody, okay? So here's what she says. Your client may have an excuse from full payment because of contractual impossibility or frustration of purpose. Consult a lawyer about what your contract says and what your state's laws around these two areas are, okay? Why is this important? I don't even need to tell you. You already know, right? You already know why this is important. It's super important that you're working in a forward-moving way that's realistic. Let me move right on to, I'm sorry, I see your comments coming in. I promise I'll get to them in a minute. So Emily asked tonight, Emily's got phone consultations tonight, right? So she's not available, but here's what Emily said. Just finished a chat with our April bride who has a contingency date, but is still wanting to move forward with her wedding in April if her venue is open and the city is out of lockdown. Okay. All right, I was gonna say something, I'm gonna pause right there. If your city's on lockdown right now, April is near, okay? There are lockdowns in Italy, but this could be Europe, the US, and who knows where in the next few days and weeks. What if she goes through with the wedding and we cannot actually deliver what's in our contract? Has anyone had experience with not fulfilling our end of the contract? So I'll tell you this, there are definitely people who have not fulfilled their end of the contract. What I wrote to Emily, because she couldn't tune in live tonight, and I know she has calls, is, if you really can't fulfill your contract, you're in breach. Bottom line, right? If you can't fulfill your contract, you're in breach. If you can't fulfill it because of contractual impossibility, right, then your client also can't be expected to fulfill the contract. So what does that mean? It means paying you in full. It means taking a loss, right? Again, I'm not a lawyer, consult yours. And people are going to say, but I don't have one. We'll find one this week, okay? If you don't have somebody that you can ask in your area, get one. And it's going to cost you money, okay? And if you don't have money, you're like, well, I can't afford that, then you are just taking a risk. And maybe it's a calculated risk, okay? I'm not going to tell you you're a dummy if you don't call a lawyer this week. I haven't called my lawyer yet, but that's because I sort of, whatever. I've got my own reasons. My weddings are in June. I only heard from one bride so far. Like, I'm going to be as reasonable as possible with every single person. So I don't anticipate needing like my way or the highway, right? Which is what some of y'all were suggesting yesterday. So please soften your hearts. Please soften your stance and tune in to the fact that you are not an actual lawyer. And when people are going, well, your contract covers that, they haven't read your contract. They're telling you your contract's going to hold up and they haven't even read it. You know this. You just want to hear them tell you that you're good. I get that, okay? I get that everybody just wants to hear, keep the money, don't refund. It's their problem. We have a contract. They're canceling. My contract says, just please be reasonable. Be reasonable with people. Be reasonable with yourself. Be reasonable about what's true. What is true and what is not true. All right, I see people saying, hi, hello woman, hello from San Diego. My feed keeps stalling. Hopefully it's fixed. I'd much rather lead from my heart. Yes, with this. Thankfully, our postponements are working out so far. That's very good news. We continue to make this as seamless as possible for our clients and vendors involved. Good. This is why I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry, I can't see your names over here. I'm trying. I got to figure out what's wrong with my Be Live that I can't see your names over here. Again, I didn't come in here just to yell at you. And I didn't come in because I wanted to just talk about coronavirus all night. But I think it's just so top of mind. Everyone's coming in with comments and questions. And what I would really love to see is people using the hashtag that I have. Search in the group. If you're not sure, I have a hashtag coronavirus, hashtag cancellation, to see people's thoughts and how other people are dealing with this. But let's just use that flow chart as the example, right? all signs lead to prepare for your event to cancel and prepare that your contract could get canceled, either because of the clause in the contract or because of the lack of the clause in the contract, okay? It's just an uncertain time, you guys. And I don't know if I can make you feel better about that. And I'm not even saying that that's what my goal is. I just want you to be informed about facts, okay? And make sure that you're moving forward in a way that's righteous and good. In terms of what you do from here, okay? So I don't know, right? It's going to depend for everybody. Some of you have a partner who has a job. Some of you have savings. Some of you have lived off your deposits and you're not sure what you're going to do if you can't fulfill your contract and you have to return a deposit because you can't fulfill, right? So I just want us to try to be calm as possible, as clear-headed as possible, and then also as practical as possible. Okay, so here's this other little thing I wanted to share. So this was actually from my wedding photographer. So I got married in 2003, okay? It is 2020. This person was in business long before I got married, okay? So this is how a long-term person in business, right? In this for the long haul. That's what I'm always teaching. It's what I teach in my Art of Good Business. We're in this for longevity, not short-term gains, right? Here's what she posted. So she stole something she said from another local artist who said something about, being a business owner, I may have to rob a bank. And if I do, don't worry, I'll do it early in the morning or stay 6 feet away, blah, blah. It's a little something to catch your attention. But then she said, or if you want to keep me out of jail, do you have any photo needs this spring? Want to learn how to use Photoshop? Take a one-on-one photography lesson? Learn how to use your iPhone camera? Want someone to organize your picture library? I just want to pause there. Do you think she really wants to organize somebody's picture library? No, but she's willing to do it. Had a recent event or trip or want me to make an album or any other photo-related job? Call me. Okay. Again, this is what a long-term, someone who's in it for the long haul did. She's like, what else can I do? She made a list of what else can she do. You may be in a situation where you have things you can do that are not floral related. You have other skills. I am willing to bet I don't have $1 million, but I'm willing to bet $1 million that you have another skill. So we're going to have to get creative. This is going to be something unprecedented. So what I did not come here to do is talk to you nonstop about coronavirus, but I think I might be failing at that. What I did not plan to do is come here to tell you everything's going to be all right, because I don't know what's going to be all right for you versus all right for somebody else, right? What I might think is all right, you might think is not acceptable, right? So we're just not in a place where we're in control right now. That doesn't feel good. And it's going to be like that for a little while. We're going to feel very much out of control because that is going to be what it is. And you're not alone. Okay. So I went out today. Psst, don't tell anybody. No, I did. I went out today. Hardly anybody was out. And it was so heartening to see people staying home. Restaurants, it was like, don't come in here, call ahead. Restaurants had, if you haven't been out, let me tell you what's happening. Their chairs were turned, stools and chairs were upside down on the tables, like, don't come in here. I made a few stops today. Marie Forleo shared something funny, like, when you realize your normal life is other people's quarantine. Like, yeah, I am home all the time. I am here all the time. I work from home. So when I went out, I had an appointment I didn't want to miss. Like I said, I was making dinner for a friend tonight who had surgery. So I needed to get a couple of items. So they were like necessary, normal stops. I wasn't out just shopping around. Don't judge me. Although I did go into a bookstore, and it was a moment like, should I do this? Should I not do this? We're all unsure. I went in, I said, oh, I'm so glad you're open, local bookstore. We stayed away from each other. I got the last signed copy of Glennon Doyle's Untamed. Same bookstore I walked into, local bookstore that I walked into, and got the last signed copy of Elizabeth Gilbert's City of Girls. Anyway, I felt like I was winning today, okay? So you have to celebrate these little wins wherever you can. The bookstore is going to be closed tomorrow indefinitely, as I know. They'll be shipping things. They're going to be creative. It says right on the door, we're going to ship for free through the end of April. They're doing something. They're servicing their client. They're going to lose money, right? Not charging for shipping is going to cost them money, but it's better than losing everything. Okay. So I just want you to take a tip from my photographer who is not above. She's not going, do you know how long I have been a photographer? Do you know that I've been published in blah, 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 and I'm this, that? No, right? She's like, anybody need me to clean up your photo album, right? By the way, I should probably take her up on that if I have half a brain. But anyway, oh, you just got Untamed too? I didn't start it yet. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it. All right, I see. I'm so sorry I can't see your names, you guys. I'm trying to look back onto the Facebook and it's not letting me. So Facebook user, you just said something I hadn't thought of. I had already refunded a bride who had to cancel. I just feel so badly for her. Well, that's nice. But another bride a couple of months ago wanted me to do her wedding in late April. But while continuing to say that, she has not ever returned my contract or given a deposit. What if she sends that tomorrow? I'm willing to bet I wouldn't be able to do her wedding in April because this thing will probably last a while. Yes, it will. What should I do? Because of course, if we're able to do weddings in late April, I'd like to do it. Same for proposal I sent May 2nd, but I haven't sent a contract to that bride yet. We are just starting the process last week. Again, I think it's just so uncertain. I don't want to be the person who's sitting here telling you, be prepared to have no work through June. I don't want to do that. I am in my mind preparing for that, not because of the media, right? This is another thing that's irking me. People go, well, the media is saying that is not something to say. And by the way, okay, just a side note, if you have friends and family who are talking about the media right now, please make sure they are understanding what facts are because they may not be getting the right facts, okay? I'm saying this again with peace and love. There is a portion of our country in the United States who is not actually absorbing real facts right now about what's happening. And so they are beyond misinformed and it's dangerous, okay? Let me also just take a moment here. I'm gonna get back to this, should you book in April? I don't think I would take a deposit for April. Again, unless you're going to keep that thing, you are ready to return it. Unless you're going to keep that thing safe and you're ready to postpone it to whatever other day she might want to do her wedding. It's not smart for us to think we're going to be doing weddings in May right now. I sure hope, right? I sure hope. But 8 weeks is how long whoever, I don't even know. It's all so confusing, right? I don't know if it was the president, the CDC, but this no more than 10 people gathering thing, that's an 8-week suggestion. I mean, again, these terms are so stupid, right? That's what we should be doing. According to scientists, not a lawyer, not a scientist. So I'm listening to lawyers and listening to scientists. They're telling us 8 weeks. We got to chill this thing out. Why are we staying in? We are staying in not because the virus is going to kill you, although it will some people, okay? Again, people like to compare it to the flu. Yes, the flu kills people too. This is different because this is coming out of nowhere. And what we're really staying home for, just in case there's anybody who has not gotten all the facts because of the media, it's overwhelming, okay? The reason you're staying home is so that called flatten the curve, okay? Raise your hand if you've heard of flatten the curve this week. We're just trying to make it so that we don't have lots and lots of new cases happening all at once. New cases are going to keep happening. In fact, I heard, again, a scientist, not the media, right? I heard a scientist say 4 out of 5 people could get this virus. Again, and it can be very mild. This isn't about you dying. This isn't about drama, okay? This is about hospitals getting too many people all at once, which is what happened in Italy, okay? So staying home, canceling these events is about protecting the population. It's about protecting people who have a heart attack, who can't get into the hospital because it's full, okay? So that's what this is about. It's about protecting everybody. It's not about anything less than that, okay? It's not about anything less than that. All right, so April, May, if you're going to try to book those dates, don't spend that money. Be ready to postpone or refund. That's what I would just say. All right, Facebook user. Again, I'm so sorry I can't see your names. It drives me nuts. I think this is going to change lots of things when this is over, the way we shop, etc. I just realized I can see Huntress Florals, but I can't see anybody else. All right, I don't know. I'm going to look into this. I might need to even make a phone call. How do I see who's talking? All right, I think it's going to change a lot of things when this is over, like the way we shop. Yes, just yes. Also, hi, I came here to bum you out. We're going to have a recession. We're in it now, according to, again, not a financial expert, but I like to tune in. We're in it now. The whole world is going to be in this recession. It's not happening to you. It's happening to everybody, okay? It's not happening to you. It's happening to everybody. So it is happening to you, but you are not alone, okay? Somebody said, no judgment. I just went to Home Depot. It's a good time to get some projects done. Oh, there was something I wanted, but I was like, oh, I feel like that felt extraneous for me because it wasn't an essential, but one day, if I had something essential, I would have gone there and gotten the non-essential thing. All right. Okay. If she returns contract and deposit, I can tell her I am now not able to do it. I'm the one that asked that question. Yeah. Okay. So yes, you can tell. So she said she sent out the contract. It didn't come back. What if it comes back now? So first of all, I handle this on the upfront by putting an expiration date on the proposal. I like talking about that so much more than coronavirus, by the way. So you put that expiration date on there, and then if she sends it late, it's a really easy no because it's after the expiration, you're no longer available anyway, okay? And of course, you can always accept it after the expiration date if you want to, but that's why an expiration date is a great trick to make it so that you don't have to have this open-ended, I don't know if a contract might show up tomorrow thing. But you can always, they can send you a contract and you can just say, I'm sorry, I'm not available, and mail back the check or destroy it, or ask them, do you want me to destroy the check or would you like me to mail it back to you? You know, give them the choice. Has anyone made a statement on their page about the virus and stating they're doing Skype and Facebook appointments? I've seen a lot of people do that, actually. I think that's just going to be the new norm. People are going to expect that. And I think a lot of people actually do that anyway. So, all right, next question here, or next comment. I delivered what could very well be my last set of deliveries for a while. And today's clients didn't just tell me, they insisted they are going to continue to pay me for the coming months, even though I won't be delivering. They said, save it for the next storm, invest it, buy toilet paper, feed your family, or whatever you want. I was blown away, but 100% appreciative and grateful for the clients that I have who are in a position to keep supporting me. That's really wonderful. Like, this is something I talked about in another video, but you know, some people who are more affluent will be more generous right now, right? That's just the way it's going to be. The people who can afford to take a hit will hopefully take the hit to help you because they know that they're in a better position than you. Not everybody, but that is going to be what our society is relying on. You know, that's going to be how it goes. Bummer, I didn't put an expiration date on it. That's okay. You don't have to put the expiration date on. You could still refuse it at this point, but it's just a great trick to help, you know, it alleviates confusion. It prompts them to book more quickly. You know, I used to send out quotes without expiration dates. And a friend of mine said, oh yeah, you know, I put an expiration date on it. And I was like, what? And it changed my life. Changed my life. So please use that tip in good health. Because that is really, you know, you don't have to book anybody. Anybody can send you anybody can send you a contract that you send out, and you can refuse it, if you're like, oh, you know what, I changed my mind. I mean, I don't think you should do business that way, but technically you can. You can absolutely do that. All right. If you have any other questions, please feel free to send them along. Any comments? If anybody wants to just share like how they're feeling. I don't want to turn into like the coronavirus, central in my group, but I don't think there's really avoiding that, right? Because that's what's on our minds. So I want you to feel welcome to talk about what's on your minds, to share your struggles. Amy came in yesterday and was like, laid off my employees, right? People are going to be making hard decisions every single day. Okay. So whether it's a hard decision about cancellations versus postponing or closing your business, right? Everybody's going to have hard decisions. And I just want to remind you that, you're resourceful and scrappy. You're an entrepreneur. You're artistic. I don't know who you are, right? I don't see you. I'm looking at myself. I'm talking, you're beautiful. No, your hair is so pretty. You are those things though, right? You are the walrus, cuckoo, cuckoo. You've got all the things, right? You can become something new. You can change things. The problem is going to be other people are not spending money, right? The problem is going to be other people don't have their jobs. Stop for a minute, right? Today I'm out. Barbershop closed, bakery closed, right? Thrift store open, but everything is different. Everyone's kind of using a different model of what to do. Some cities, all the restaurants and bars are closed down for public gatherings, right? Like everyone's got something different going on, but your favorite restaurant in your town is struggling the same way that you are. I don't care how busy and bustling they were 2 weeks ago. They are wondering what they're going to do. Even the super, if you're in the service industry right now, you're relying on people coming in your doors, you're going to struggle. I don't like it. That's where we are, y'all. That's where we are. And, you have a feeling things are going to be different. It is going to be different. We are going to be different. And crazy as it may seem to say it right now, sounds crazy to say it right now. We may be better, right? We may even be better because we'll be tested in ways that we weren't. We'll draw on bravery that we haven't had to draw upon. So my grandfather, right, my first grandfather that I lost, I was in 5th grade when he died. My second grandfather that I lost, I was in college. So, that age between being a kid and then kind of you get into your own world, in college. I didn't sit and like listen to World War II stories from my grandpa, I guess is what the long piece of it. I know both my grandpas fought in the war, I've seen pictures. I know what they looked like, I wore my grandfather's Navy uniform when I did a little rendition of Honey Bun from South Pacific one year. You can picture it. So, I understood how special it is, how special this greatest generation was, right? These people sacrificed. You go, how did they do that, right? They lived through the Great Depression. You talk about how resourceful they are, right? This is our moment, okay? When my grandfather died, my grandmother met a boyfriend. All of a sudden, my grandmother had a boyfriend, Bob, who's a great guy. And I was a grown-up, right, when I met Bob. So we talked like grown-ups, and he would talk about the war. He's one of those people who talked really honestly about it, and like a way that a lot of people don't. And when my grandmother died a few years ago, he was distraught, right? He was really distraught. And so we had some some time together chatting. And, it was really interesting. It's always interesting. He grew up very poor in Ohio, very poor. And his dad walked out on the family, and his mom had, I want to say 5 kids. And, the stories, we would sit at dinner, and she had, like this kind of stale bread, and that was it for dinner, right? People, these are your parents, your grandparents, this is who we come from, right? And you go, wow, they're amazing. He would sit there, she would put this bread out, and she would say, whoever eats the most bread gets the biggest piece of pie, or something like that. Because she was just so desperate for them to just fill their bellies with anything, right? And he tells the story with great affection. Not sad, woe is me, right? He tells this story like it was really beautiful. I'm sorry. So this is where some of you are going to be. Some of you won't be. I hope no one is, right? But some people are going to just be like, how do we fill our kids' bellies, right? So I am personally going to I'm going to go out in public, y'all. I'm going to go to the grocery store. I asked the school, I said, how can we help with these kids who rely on school lunches? She said, gift certificates to grocery stores would be helpful. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get some gift certificates. I'm going to bring them to the school, right? It's only going to be mildly helpful, right? It will make me feel slightly better. Over the upcoming weeks, we'll need to find ways where we can be genuinely helpful. And we won't all be able to be monetarily helpful, because we have to protect our money, because it's going to be tight, because everybody's going to be in recession mode, right? For how long, we don't know. It's just hard to say, but people are not going to be buying as much, including you, including me, like just everybody. So we're going to have to get resourceful. We're going to have to dig deep, and we're going to have to find ways to help people, and not just think about how our contract got broken. And that's going to be hard to do, because we are used to just being like, remember, that World War II generation? I don't know how they did it, man. I am so impressed with them. Time to turn it back on yourself, people. It's the time. It is the time. What did you do? What did you do now, right? What did you do now is going to be, and I mean, I know that sounds dramatic, right? It's like, stay in your house. How sacrifice, right? Put it in perspective. I was saying to my son's almost 8, I had to cancel his birthday party. And I'm like, look, we're not having a birthday party, right? But you can have cookies in the morning for the next 2 weeks until your birthday. I will make this up to you, my child. I will make it up to you. So 10 a.m. chocolate chip cookies all day. So all day, all week. We just have to figure out how we're going to be smart, how we're going to make the best of things, and how we're going to recognize, like I said to my son, you have internet, you have Netflix, right? Like, I started thinking, should we cancel the Netflix? Well, we kind of need it, right? So we're going to do things like that. We're going to pick and choose what's important. We're going to reprioritize. We're going to spend more time with our family. This is not going to be all bad. Some of it is going to be bad, but it's not going to be all bad, okay? Go Grammy, giving me hope. All right, awesome. What a great idea. I'm going to assume that might be about maybe the gift cards for the school. All right, as this may go longer than anticipated, I need to figure out what to say. Like, I won't require a non-refundable deposit until very close to the date. If they don't hold me to completing the event, if 2 weeks out, we're still not supposed to gather. You could do that. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I think if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. For me, I'm going to just take it case by case. Like, this person wrote to me, like my first bride, she said, what should we do? What are your thoughts? And so I told her my thoughts. And so what I said to her is this. I said, first, if you need to postpone, we'll postpone. If you need to reduce the size and come down, like reduce your minimum, we'll reduce the minimum. Like if you're going to have a small wedding and you don't need $3,000 worth of flowers anymore, like we'll do whatever you need. And then if you need to cancel, what I said to her was, I'll give you 50% of your deposit back. All right. So the reason I say that is because I always take a deposit that I'm comfortable keeping. I've talked about this before. I am religious about this. Never take more money from your client for a deposit than you are willing to keep if they are to cancel. So I learned this, I don't want to say the hard way, but I learned this when somebody canceled on me very soon after booking. We had a call, she booked, she sent, I want to say it was like a $1,200 deposit. She was doing like a bigger thing with me, more, she was going to spend more. So it made sense to have a bigger deposit. So 2 weeks later, I mean, it was quick. It went from we're booked to it's off. And I could not keep that money. I didn't do any work. I didn't buy anything. I barely wrote her this like super quick proposal. We had one call. I was like, no problem. I'm going to refund your deposit. I'm going to refund it because I can't keep it with good conscience. And I already had another wedding that same day. So I was not out anything. I didn't lose anything. So I learned then that I don't really want to take more than a $700 deposit because that's what I'm comfortable keeping, even if I didn't do anything. I might have kept 700 of that girl's dollars, so don't think I'm too nice. I might have. I don't know if I would have, but I might have. But 1,200 I couldn't. It was just too much money to keep. So I feel comfortable keeping $700. However, these people are not canceling by choice, right? They are forced to cancel. They're not canceling. Life is canceling, okay? Life is canceling. And so they don't have a choice. In this particular instance, the person who wrote to me, I actually already met them at their venue. So I drove to the venue, met them, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, I don't know, it was probably an hour and a half, but between the driving back and forth, whatever, I put in enough time that I could keep $350 and feel okay about that, not feel like I'm being mean or Scroogey about it, So that's why I think it's just important that when you do take a deposit, make sure it's something you are comfortable keeping if somebody bails on you. It should be high enough that they don't just walk away from it because it's $100. But, some people do like 20%, 30%, 50%. Like, can you really keep $1,500 of somebody's money if you only wrote a proposal, met with them once, didn't buy anything? I don't know. I am just asking, can you? I actually lowered my deposit because I want my own heart to feel good knowing that I could give it back if I choose to do so. Sure, you can absolutely do that. That would be a great little temporary way to handle it. We're only taking a $200 deposit because it's so tentative. I don't know, something like that. But wait, I thought you said before, take 50% and then the rest a month before. Nope, I have never said that. I don't tell you what you should take for a deposit. It's up to you. I always describe it like this. Take what you're comfortable keeping. A lot of people say 50%. I don't do 50% because I don't do percentages at all. Here's why. I like this so much better than talking about coronavirus. Let's talk about percentages and deposits. This is my zone of genius. This is better than coronavirus. Okay, reason I don't do percentage is because I learned when I do percentage, it makes them focused on what that final number is going to be. And I don't want us to focus on that final number just yet. What I want to focus on is what's the minimum that I need them to spend, and then what's the deposit amount to hold the date and book the date. And I have to be comfortable that if they cancel, that's all I ever get. And if they cancel, I'm willing to keep that amount. So yeah, I don't do 50%. I never do percentages because it gets them focused on the final bill. Because then they're like, well, what's it going to equal? And then I have to figure out 50% of that. If I just know what my deposit is, I don't have to worry about it. Another reason I don't do percentage is because while I am the flower mouth woman and I'm all about profits and percentages and all that stuff, I am really not super into accounting. I like everything basic. I was actually about to say, I just like my shit basic. That's what I want to say. I want my shit basic. So what I do is if I just have a $700 deposit from everybody, I'm not like, well, how much did this person give me? How much did that person give me? I just know it's like, we got $700 from all these people. You know, like for example, I would have to look and see exactly how many weddings I have booked right now. But if I had 10 weddings booked, I could pretty much guess that I have $7,000 that I collected in deposits, and I better have $7,000 in my bank account in case I needed to refund them for some reason because life got canceled, right? Let's see here. Somebody said great idea, but wait, sorry, I saw that one already. The last comment, I hit send. I don't know what that says, instead of delete. So cool. All right, I don't see any more questions coming in. If you do have questions, please feel free. I still can't see you on Facebook. The Facebook is not loading for me. Maybe Facebook is actually being a little glitchy. Would explain it. So again, I really do think that it's important to think about what you do now. Breathe, right? Okay. Exercise, do all the things. Seek out goodness, right? Seek out goodness, even though there's some badness around, right? And it's not the virus that you should be afraid of, right? It's recession, postponement, people wanting money that you don't actually have in your bank account, right? Those are the things. Just stay safe, stay healthy, be smart, be wise, lead with your heart, and recognize that, you know, talking to myself right now, right? The people in my group last night that were getting me fired up with the stick with your contract, they're doing their best, right? I didn't like what they were saying. I'm like, why? How can so many people be so just focus on the contract and not thinking about the people? That got me. I'm not gonna, it got me hard last night. You know, like to the point that I was like brushing my teeth last night and I had to like run out and write down like, florists are not lawyers. Like, that's what I want to say. Don't take the advice of your florist friends. Take the advice of your lawyer friends. But yeah, it is going to be just something we have to navigate on a daily basis. I want to be here to try to support you. I know that I'm not going to be your everything. I'm not going to have all the answers for you. And I know some people are going to have a hard time. And I just hope that you feel heard. I hope that you know you're not alone wherever you are on this scale. And I hope you know, again, you are smart, you are resourceful, you are scrappy in a way that I mean as a compliment, okay? You can figure shit out, right? You can figure stuff out. You have been in your studio before having to make something, or in a flower shop where you are employed. You have been standing there and been like, I don't know how to do this. And then you figure it out. You make something, you cob job something, you take like a pipe cleaner and a paper clip and you MacGyver something, and you have now created a new invention, right? That you use every time you do this particular thing. You can figure out a way to bring money into your business, to barter services. You know, I mean, this is the kind of thinking. This is why I'm going back to my grandma's boyfriend, right? Like, you get together, you help each other, you recognize that we got to get old timey, y'all. We got to get old timey. We got to start thinking, how do we do things differently? How do we just sit with our family and play a board game instead of thinking that we have work to do, right? You're not going to have a proposal to write. You're not going to have that wedding to make. I was supposed to be getting on an airplane in 2 days to go to Minneapolis to do this like kick butt seminar I was super excited to do, right? I got to wait till September now to do it. Disappointing, right? So glad they canceled, because I was going to call to cancel and I was like, I don't want to be the one to cancel. I'm so glad they canceled. This week, I don't have lots of stuff on my calendar. I can be here with my kid, right? Today I was all out. tomorrow I'm going to be like, look, I keep joking. I'm like, I'm your teacher. We did Legos for like an hour and a half yesterday. I said, I'm your Lego teacher. You know, he thinks it's funny. We're just going to do our best. And I'm going to fill in that work that I don't get to do, that presentation I don't get to do. Maybe I'll make my son watch it, actually. Maybe I'll do it for him. I'm sure he'll love that. But I can stop. I can be here now. You know, that's the best I can say right now. It's like, we can do that. We have that. You are very wise, Allison. Oh, thank you. And compassionate. Thank you. Well, thank you right back. Again, anonymous Facebook user, because I cannot see your name over here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to stop here because we're at 50 minutes and that's long enough to listen to me talk. So thank you for being here. I'll be back here again next Tuesday. I think I'll do daytime again. I might go back to daytime. I know I have way fewer viewers in the evening than during the daytime. So I thought I would try this out. I was like, oh, we'll get different people. And I know we do have some different people, but there's a lot fewer views. So I'll switch back to morning. Of course, obviously you can watch this on a replay. You'll be able to watch my next Tuesday on a replay if this time does work for you. And if you do prefer this time, you know, let me know and I can hop in here sometimes and do some evening streams. But next week we'll do a Tuesday Q&A, like trying to keep things going. And we'll just try to just keep each other informed. Again, we're not talking about what we heard someone say. We're just talking about facts that we know from trusted sources, lawyers, doctors, epidemiologists, scientists, that kind of thing. Thank you, Alison. Best of luck to everyone. Yes, indeed. Best of luck to everyone. LOL, we're all home now during the day. I know, I was thinking that too. I was like, dang, I should do this during the day. I'll have so many people watching during the day. Look, we're in this together. We keep saying that. It's like just not cliche. It just is the truth. We are one. We are one. We're all together. So thank you so much. Thank you. You're the best. You're the best right back. Yeah, keep doing beautiful work wherever you can. Okay. So if you can't do beautiful work because you don't have any orders, if you can't do beautiful work because you don't have customers, do something else beautiful. Paint something, draw something, build something, right? You could even go to Home Depot if you absolutely had to so that you could build something. Just stay 6 feet away from everybody. Just do something. Do something. Keep yourself busy and it's gonna buckle up. That's what I said last week. I came in here last week. I said, I don't want to talk about this. Actually, it was 2 weeks ago. Now that I think about it. Was when Scott and I were on. Oh, no, that was last week. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, that was the 10th. Like time flies. I came in here last week. I was like, I don't want to talk about this. And now it's all we can talk about. So things change. You know, what a difference a day makes. Not in a good way, but that's where we are. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Do something good. Okay.